Hi, I'm Jill.
And I'm John.
And we're the Geezers on the Go.
Go, go, go.
In this, the 100th episode on our YouTube channel, we're on the Florida Panhandle at Lake Stone Campground. It's a county park where no reservations are needed. In fact, they're not allowed. The park is in Century, Florida, due north of Pensacola, and just minutes from the Alabama state line. The campground has 77 sites, all with water and electric, and is strictly first come, first served. There is a playground, a boat launch, and lots of fishing, but no swimming.
That's because the lake was built specifically for fishing by Escambia County and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. Of course, looking is allowed, and it is a beautiful sight to behold. Jill usually begins planning our winter trips months ahead of time, sometimes a year ahead of time.
Sometimes, yeah.
And then we wound up in a first-come, first-served county park in Florida,
which is almost impossible to get reservations sometimes at campgrounds.
How did that happen?
Well, I was looking at our route, and I have this book that gives you all the little county parks and stuff, and I thought, oh, this looks nice, and I called the place, and the guy says, oh, this time of year, we're mid-March. He says, you won't have any problems. He says, come on in. He says, we have over
famous
70.
Last words.
Yeah, we have over 70 sites, so we took a chance.
And it paid off.
We're here at Lake Stone County Park in Century, Florida. It's on the tip of the Florida Panhandle, almost on the Alabama border, and not that far from Mississippi either. But we're in site number 25, and this site has water and electric, and it's right on Lake Stone, as are a lot of these sites here. Some of the sites are on concrete, some are just on dirt. But the best thing about this park is the price. It's only about $20, and it's first come, first serve, so be aware of that. But it's about $20, and you get a little discount if you're a senior. But this site is really pretty nice. Well, it's a little windy today, but you have all this area behind you, and it goes out to some little areas where you can go fishing, and there's little extra fingers that go out so you can throw a line. You have a little fire pit way over there, picnic table, beautiful spot. This is what the campground looks like when you come in, and it's a lot of trees right on that little Lake Stone. Somebody over here in a tent, and there's campsites on both sides. We got middle sites. The middle ones are mostly grassy. The ones more towards the end of the lake have concrete pads. And right now it's about the first week in March, and it's not too busy. And I wouldn't say there's any snowbirders, because everybody here seems to be from Florida except us, and I saw one other car from Ontario, but looks like a local hangout. So make note, snowbirders, come on down. What's really nice about this little county park is there's us there, and then the lake is right there, but they have these cool little fingers that you can go out, and they said it was made for fishing. And at the end of ours here, there's a fish cleaning table. This one happens to have a dock, and there's another fish cleaning station over there. And this lake, pretty good, not too bad of a size, 130 acres. If you had a nice boat with an electric motor, you could find a lot of good spots. But let's take a walk out on this beautiful dock. It goes out pretty far, which is good because it gives you a little more areas to throw a line out. A lot of times you're right close to the shore and it's almost impossible to try your luck anyplace. There's a good picture of the lake, and over there is where the boat launch is. And I think there's a dam at the other end. You could bring your chair down here. And there's a couple little sort of benches you could sit on the end or put your tackle box on and throw out from a variety of directions. Go around here. That's number 26 is a pretty decent site. And as we walk around a little bit here, 27 and 28, most of the ones that are along the lake all have the concrete. 29 is no one there, and number 30 is right there. The ones in here, I'll have to get a little closer look because you can't see the numbers too well. On this inner loop, it starts on number 59, which is right by the bathhouse there, and there also is a little dump station right in the middle, and there's also one on your way out. And it continues around to 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, all on that other side of the inner loop. Like I said, they're all grassy but nice and flat, pretty level, so you probably wouldn't have too much of a problem pulling in a good sized rig, especially some of these ones at the end, because you can go back pretty far. Pretty windy today, and yesterday we had some really tremendous winds, and then we had a big thunderstorm last night, and we also had some tornado watches that didn't come close to us, and there wasn't really any real ones touched down, but it's a little spooky when you're in a trailer and you get that kind of a warning. But anyway, that's 31 and 32 right there, and if you had any of these sites, you could pull your boat right up to the shore, as you can see the boat down there. There's two handicap sites right by the bathhouse. Looks like 58 and 57 on that side. And then we continue. This one's, that's it. That's 33, 34. Once you get to 34, they don't have any more concrete. I'm not sure why, but maybe the county ran out of money. Who knows? Then you got 35, 36. And these are all a little, maybe not quite as level and a little bit shorter, but they all still have water and electric. You can do some extended stays in this park. You just have to call them and ask. That's where the camp host is over there. It looks like it's site 53 over there. Got 38's a little not too level, and 39 over here. That would be a little shorty. You didn't want to be directly on the lake. This 51 wouldn't be too bad because you can see the lake, and you can walk right down to get access. This lake, though, you can't swim here, but fishing is available as long as you use an electric motor on the boat. It's a 130-acre lake. So that's 51, 50, 49, 48 all along here, and these are fairly level with the gravel site. Only thing that might bother you is that they have these street lights here, and they are pretty bright, so if you don't like having a light right above you, I maybe would avoid those sites. And if you wanted to be away from it all, maybe closer to the road, but not by the rest of the people, by the lake, 43, 42, and 40 all the way down here could be sort of by yourself, a little closer to the road, but you would probably couldn't have a big rig here, but again, all water and electric. This, I guess, is the last site in the park, number 77, and it's the only pull-through, and you'd have no real view of the lake because it's way tucked in right at the beginning of the campground, but it's all what somebody would like. Site number 1 looks like it might be a little out of order. What do you think? As you can see, this is number 2, so these sites can fit something pretty big. That's a good sized motorhome at number 2. There's a lot of space behind you, but you're really not on the lake at all. And then we get 3, 4. These look 4 is a kind of a shorty, as is 3. These are more, I think, on this side over here, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, more like tent sites. And as you can see, there's a tent. And you're right down by the lake, so you could go easy go fishing. The hide sites 9 and 10. Then you have there's picnic tables, fire pits, and you right down here by the water. This is like a little cove, and then that goes out to the main lake. And there's always some kind of visitors around here. We have geese, and there's this one egret that likes to make an appearance. And on that log out there, there's some turtles. And then as you come back down around here back to the main lake, the sites get bigger again. And this is another camp host over here. He's at site number 15. Got some, you can hear it's kind of windy, you can hear his jingly bells. And on this side, we go back to have a couple more cement pads. There's quite a few camper trailers out here we saw this week. While we were here, I don't think there was more than a dozen sites fixed. So let me just check what the numbers are over here. We need to do a little better job there, okay? I'm putting new numbers up. 67, 66, and that's 65, 64 all have concrete pads, and they'd have really good views out to the lake. And on this side, they started to put some concrete pads here starting at number 19. Just have to be careful on that one, you don't fall off the edge. And your picnic table under the tree. These would be nice shady spots. That's number 20. Again, don't go off the edge. And we got 21 and 22. They're a little close together, but the way they're angled, you wouldn't see too much of your neighbor. The only hard part around here is where you park your car, because your car is very close to your trailers on these spots over here. So that's number 22. That's probably one of the nicer spots here because you have quite a bit of grassy area, and it'd be an easy pull back into the site. And then we got 23, 24, and then us at 25.
Yeah, and the lake, it's about 130 acres, I guess. Mm-hmm. Maximum depth 20 feet, average depth 6 feet. It's got bass and panfish and catfish in it. And it was actually built for fishing and built for shore fishing, because it has these little fingers that they built out into the lake.
So you're not always fishing into like shallow water. And now we did manage finally to catch a couple of fish.
Catch a couple small ones, but it's fish.
It's something. At least felt like I got my money's worth on my 3-day fishing license. And we're in the town of Century, Florida. We're right on the Alabama border. You go 10 minutes, you're in Alabama. But the town has enough shopping and stuff. There's not really a lot in this area, I would say touristy stuff or anything, but it's has grocery stores, a couple of restaurants.
Yeah, and then we're about due north of Pensacola. How far?
About 45 minutes. So if you wanted to take a time and go to the beach for the day, I said it'd be a great place if you're a full-timer to stay, because I think you can stay for at least a month, at even at maybe a more reduced rate if you inquire.
Yeah, they just have no full hookups.
Right, but it's easy. The dump station's not that far, so if you have your own little poop trolley, it wouldn't be far to go dump. And the atmosphere really pretty, lots of nice trees, so I recommend it.
Yeah, we'd come back. Jill's giving it a try here on the little fishing pier right by our campsite.
I'm freezing. Hey, finally got something.
Jill got a fish.
It's a nice bass. Oh, look at that. Oh, finally, my $150 fish.
That's a pretty decent one.
Not a bad one, about maybe 1.5 pounds. It was a fight, big fight.
He was a fighter. Right here off the fishing pier at Lake Stone.
Lake Stone. If I can just get the... This road is on the other side of the campground. You come in, and it's designated mostly for a boat launch area, and somebody's just going to launch their boat. And there's us, right over there. Boat launch here is concrete, and it goes pretty far into the water. And then they have this nice little fishing pier. Got some noisy geese out there. Look like you could easily come sit over here and go fishing. The campground right across the way. Beautiful setting for County Park. Lake Stone also represents a couple of milestones for us geezers. Besides being our 100th YouTube video, it also helped push us over 1,300 subscribers.
It all started almost 4 years ago when we posted our first video on Mare State Park in Alabama. Jill uttered her first, now familiar, "We're here," a few months later.
We're here at Selkirk Shores State Park near Pulaski, New York. We also want to thank everyone for watching, sharing, and subscribing. And, like John says,
We'll see you down the road.